Get your ears wrapped around the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast. All the scoop you need to know from college basketball to the NBA and even March Madness. News of your rising stars. Topics on and off the hardwood. This is the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast.
Alright, and welcome to the GSMC Basketball Podcast. This episode is brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, and I am your host, Jesse Tapia. Alright, so this is how today's show is going to go. Okay, let's just get it going right now. First up, for this first segment, we're going to be doing the weekend recap. Alright, we're going to be doing that, like I said. Second segment, we'll be recapping the games from yesterday, which was Sunday. Alright, Cavs lost to the Spurs. We'll talk a bit about that. Third segment, we're going to talk about the city of Philadelphia, I guess, putting out billboards trying to get LeBron to come to the Sixers, at least make him think about it. So we'll be talking about pretty much all of that, give my thoughts on it, and talk about, I guess, what LeBron and the Sixers would look like, I guess, how well they'd play, and pretty much how good they'd be. So we'll be doing that. And then for the fourth segment, as we always do, we're going to be talking about whatever else is going on in the world of basketball and making my picks for tonight's NBA games, which is Monday. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the weekend recap. What should we start off with first? How about we start off with, all right, I got three things I want to talk about, okay? There's Markelle Fultz. There's a video of him at one of the NBA arenas, and I can't remember which one it was or whatever, but he's out there practicing with a trainer or coach, whoever it may be, and his jump shot did look pretty good, okay? So we're going to be talking about that, or should I go with Zaza Pachulia, the dirtiest player in the NBA, or should I talk about the NCAA? All right, you know what? Let's start off with Fultz. Let's go with Pachulia then after, and then we'll finish off the segment talking about the NCAA. All right, so we'll get these first two things out the way. All right, so let's talk about Markelle Fultz, okay? So there's a video, and he's dribbling the ball around, spinning around, hits a turnaround jumper, and you know what? I was watching, I was like, this doesn't look like a broken jump shot at all. Markelle Fultz's jump shot may have come back to life, okay? It may have come back to life finally. And, I mean, I was, because the video was on Twitter, I can't remember exactly who posted it, but nonetheless, there's a video on Twitter of it, and I click on the thing, because I always like to read the comments and stuff like that, see what people are saying. And you see all the Philly fans so excited. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Markelle's going to come back and stuff. And I'm not even sure if, like, I still to this day, which is Monday, February 26th, all right, have no clue what really went wrong with Markelle Fultz. Like, this has been probably the weirdest situation and probably a top 5 weird NBA story ever, I guess, maybe. I mean, I'm still pretty young, so I mean, a lot of you older people out there probably know a little bit more than I do as far as weird stories. But nonetheless, getting back to it, I mean, Markelle Fultz, number 1 pick, was supposed to be the best player in the draft, supposed to have this rivalry with Lonzo, supposed to be the best point guard, supposed to be one of the best scoring rookies in the league. All right, and he just disappears. All right, his jump shot disappears, okay? You got Philadelphia team front office people saying that his shoulder got hurt and that's what caused it, and then you got other people saying that the people closest to him tried getting him to change his jump shot. So I'm not sure really what's been going on, but the fact that there's live video of Markelle Fultz in an NBA arena taking shots and actually like hitting a shot. And I think it was a Philly sports writer, like thing who posted the video. Again, I can't remember exactly who it was, but either way, there's video of Markelle Fultz and the jumper looks nice. It doesn't look awkward. It doesn't look robotic. It looks like it's just smooth off the hand in through the net. All right. So, I mean, again, that's just one video that we have out there on Twitter, and I'm sure it's on Facebook and all those stuff, but that's just one video there. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like people are excited saying like it's time to pretty much run. He's going to come back this year and all that. I have no clue whether Fultz comes back or not, but just the fact that he's got the video out there of him shooting the ball and it looks good. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, the whole Markelle Fultz thing, probably one of the weirdest stories ever, but I mean, I want to see him come back. I'm not a Philly fan by any means or anything like that, but I mean, I want to see the Markelle Fultz that draft scouts and draft analysts and all that stuff we're talking about. I want to see the dude who could score in 3 different phases of the game, all right? Drive in, mid-range, and 3-point shot. All right, I want to see that. I want to see how well Philly plays with Markelle Fultz, okay? I mean, you got Simmons, you got Embiid, the 2 franchise players right there. Fultz is supposed to be that little, not final piece, but pretty much going to elevate it even more, all right? And I want to see how that works out, okay? Because you know what? Philly's on the verge of being a good team, but if you put Fultz in there and he plays well, then, I mean, they're going to be up there with the Cavs, the Celtics, and all those guys, okay? I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about, like, next year if he play. Again, this is all hypothetical if Fultz ends up playing well, okay? So, yeah, I just want to see Fultz come out and pretty much just show what everyone expected him to be, okay? Because if not, it's looking like Danny Ainge is a genius yet again, because either maybe Danny Ainge told, I don't know what's going on, but every time a team trades with Danny Ainge, I mean, something goes wrong. Minnesota, when they gave up Kevin Garnett, they're barely recovering from that. The Seattle Supersonics aren't even a team anymore. Let's see, what else? Who else has he traded with? I mean, he did that Kyrie Irving trade with the Cavs, Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Anthony Zizic barely even plays. Crowder and Thomas, like I said, are off the team. All right, maybe the Brooklyn pick is the best part of that. Then you got Philly. All right, they ended up getting a first-round pick. And I think, too, with that first-round pick that Boston got for Philly, if it's not 2 through 5 this year, because if the Lakers don't finish in the lottery 2 through 5, then the Sixers get the pick. But in 2019, I believe, if the Kings don't get the number 1 pick, then Boston gets it if they don't get LA's pick. So you got that. They got Jason Tatum. Markelle Fultz forgot how to shoot a basketball. I know there's a couple other teams that he's traded with that it just hasn't worked out. Oh, look at the Suns. I mean, they gave up Marcus Thornton, I think it was, and a second-round pick for Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas goes on to have one of the best seasons in Celtics offensive history, I guess if that's how you want to say it. And let's see. Oh, yeah, he traded for Jay Crowder from the Mavs, gave him pretty much Rondo, and, I mean, the Mavs were thinking of using Rondo for the playoffs, and sure enough, that just didn't work out at all. So it's bad to trade with Danny Ainge. I still don't know why teams do it, but either way, really want to see Markelle Fultz back, all right? So let's move on. Let's move on to Zaza Pachulia, okay? Probably I got to be nice when I'm saying this because we got to keep it professional. Let's see. What can I say about Zaza? Definitely dirtiest player in the league, all right? And, I mean, either he's just as clumsy as it gets or the dude is just trying to hurt players, okay? Because you know what? Zaza Pachulia, I've never really been a fan of him, all right? Never really saw, like, there's no use for Zaza Pachulia, okay? I got friends that are Warriors fans. I was at buddy's house on Saturday night, and that's when when Zaza fell on Westbrook, and they're all talking about how they can't stand Zaza Pachulia. He's useless. He has there's no point of him being on the court. They'd rather have JaVale McGee play. All right, and I saw a writer today tweet out Zaza Pachulia's stats, talking about his plus minus. Of course, those all going to be good. He's playing with Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. I mean, you could put me out there. I'm sure my plus minus is going to be looking fine. All right, so I mean, Zaza Pachulia, there's no use for him. He's a useless player. All right. He is. He really is. There's literally no reason for him to be on the court. JaVale McGee brings more to the Warriors than Zaza Pachulia does. And, I mean, you got Zaza Pachulia. People are going to say it's unintentional, right? No, that was definitely intentional. He chose to dive on Westbrook's ankle, okay? And it's not like, I guess maybe if this was like the first instance of maybe someone questioning Zaza Pachulia being dirty, then I guess, yeah, maybe it was unintentional. This isn't the first time at all. All right, don't forget, he hurt Kawhi Leonard last year, and I think he had a run-in with Kevin Durant, his own teammate. All right, so Zaza Pachulia, I think that Kevin Durant one was a bit, was probably unintentional, obviously, since they're teammates. But, I mean, you're going to tell me that he did how he did Kawhi and then how he got Russell Westbrook. You're going to tell me that's unintentional? Unintentional? There's no way, all right? Zaza Pachulia is a dirty player. All right, there's no use for him on the Warriors. All right, none of the fans really like him. I'm not even using my instance with the people I was hanging out with on Saturday. I mean, you got on Twitter Warriors fans saying they don't like Zaza Pachulia. All right, no one likes Zaza Pachulia. There's no use for him other than to be pretty much an enforcer, where that's only a position that you really need in hockey. All right, you don't need Zaza Pachulia going out to injure people. There was another one where I think was it Kevin Durant or someone else where it was this season too, where he fell back. He was trying to get not even trying to get a rebound, right? The ball's not even near him, and he falls back on someone. I can't remember exactly who it was. Maybe that was the Kevin Durant one people were talking about, but I can't remember exactly. But he fell back on someone. It was like, dude, what are you falling back for? All right, so yeah, Zaza Pachulia, definitely a dirty player. Can't stand him. Didn't even like him when he was with the Hawks. There's literally no. I don't understand. Like, I gotta be nice, but let's just say that I don't understand with what Zaza Pachulia brings to an NBA team. How he's still starting, and especially starting for one of the best teams, the best team in the NBA. All right, I don't get it at all. It makes no sense to me. But I mean, I don't know, because you got people pretty much say people are mad at Zaza Pachulia. You got people saying the NBA needs to take a look at it and all that. Finally needs to do something about it. So I mean, I think they should too, because you can't. He's gonna hurt someone and knock him out for the rest of the year. All right, because imagine if he lands on Russell Westbrook the wrong way or whatever on his ankle, and Westbrook breaks his ankle or something happens to it. I mean, the NBA doesn't want that. That's gonna be bad for ratings. All right. So NBA's got to do something about Zaza Pachulia, like tell him, dude, stop being so clumsy or stop falling on people, all right? They got to do something. All right, so that's a little something that happened over the weekend too. And now for the final thing we're going to talk about for this segment, let's go back to the NCAA, all right? Talked a bit about it on Friday, spent a segment on it, and there's just more that's come out. All right, Arizona coach Sean Miller. I think I got to remember the story exactly. All right, but I think he talked to an agent, had that agent pay DeAndre Ayton $100,000 to come play for Arizona, and that's how they got him, okay? So, and one thing about it too, I think Sean Miller, when it came out, he didn't travel with the team. I can't remember who they were going to play this weekend, but yeah, he didn't travel with the team, didn't coach in that game. So obviously, oh yeah, the best part, they got him on wiretap, the FBI, right? They got him talking like this is real, okay? They got him talking to the agent saying, yeah, give DeAndre Ayton $100,000 and he'll come play for us or whatever, okay? So Sean Miller is pretty much, he's done, all right? There's no way he's going to be the Arizona coach after this year. I don't even know if he finishes the year, okay? Maybe they do just haven't finished because the tournament's coming up in a couple of weeks. But actually, when is the tournament? I think this week is when the conference championships are starting. I don't know. That's going to be something to talk about too. But either way, getting back to it, okay? With all this, I mean, my biggest question isn't, obviously, like we should all know that schools have been playing players since the start, okay? And as far as this whole Arizona thing, it's like I think it was Sean Miller. Yeah, he chose because it was looking like DeAndre Ayton was going to go to Kansas. So then that's when Sean Miller says, "Yeah, pay him the $100,000." I mean, Kansas obviously paid him, was only offering him about 90 probably. I'm just giving an opinion, just messing around here. But either way, I mean, I'm still so curious, but what's going to come from all of this, okay? Because like I said, this is just the beginning. We got stuff leaking out, more of it coming out. All right, what's going to happen, okay? What's going to happen to Arizona? I mean, like I said, you got teams like Duke's got like 3 top 5 recruits coming to their team next season. Are you telling me that? And again, I'm under the impression that everyone is getting paid. Every top college recruit is getting paid. Okay, that's the impression I'm under. Okay, so you're telling me Duke got, and again, this is all hypothetical, it's just my opinion. This isn't concrete fact or anything like that. So I got to say that before we even get into it. You're telling me that Duke got 3 top recruits. Okay, I think they were top 5, might have been the top 3 recruits in the country. All right. And they didn't pay a dime for him, okay? They did not pay 1 cent. They just wanted to come just because it's Duke. I understand that Duke is a prestigious school and all that, but times change, right? If I'm a top recruit who could play basketball and all that, and I mean, let's say Arizona's offering me $100,000 and Duke is telling me, it's Duke, you could come play here. Okay, look at us, wherever we're prestigious, the best of the best. I'm going to go play at Arizona. $100,000 is $100,000, okay? There's no way in the world with all these players getting paid, all these college basketball players getting paid, that those top 3 recruits that Duke got are not getting 1 cent to go play at Duke, all right? There is simply no way. I'm not saying that Coach K is the one that is the one that's paying them, but either way, something's got to be going on, and it's not just Duke. It's everywhere, all right? I feel like if you're getting a top recruit, you're paying them whatever to come play for your team. That's just how it is, okay? And Jalen Rose, on his podcast, the Jalen Jacoby podcast, brought up an interesting little idea. He said that the NCAA basketball players should just boycott the tournament and not play, okay? And at first I was like, it's kind of out there, but he was saying because, I mean, that'll start change. That'll start reforms and all that, okay? I mean, just imagine if the NCAA basketball players, they boycotted the tournament. I mean, you're going to have to go out. You're going to have to pretty much make it legal for those guys to get paid as far as the NCAA goes, all right? Because, I mean, the NCAA tournament, that's where they make their money, right? That's where you get kids like me and stuff in class with my laptop out only for the month of March out there just so I could just watch the basketball games. Or I remember in high school, we'd be in class and all that watching the games. Of course, we were still studying and doing our homework and stuff like that, but nonetheless, I mean, we'd be in the library after school, we'd be in the library at lunch watching all the games. The NCAA makes all their money at this tournament time, all right? And just imagine if the players boycotted the tournament. There'd be some real change coming. And I'm not saying, and as far as players getting paid too, Obviously, you get Title IX and all that, so what the guys get, the girls got to get. But I'm thinking maybe instead of the schools paying the players directly, maybe you got agents who go out and pay the players that way, or finally start having players make money off their likeness, all right, as far as giving autographs and getting paid for it. That's what they should probably be doing. I'm not sure how it all ends up. It's a bit of a sticky situation. And like I said, I mean, there's going to be a whole lot more that comes out of it. But that's pretty much, like I said, what happened over the weekend, all right? So we're going to wrap up this segment. Next up, we're going to be talking about the NBA games from Sunday, maybe talk about some more NBA stuff from this weekend, who knows? But either way, stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines, they got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast. In that first segment, pretty much did a weekend recap as we're gonna do for every Monday show. All right, we talked about Markelle Fultz, that video of him on Twitter, posted by a Philly sports writer, I believe it was. Don't quote me on that, but either way, all right, Markelle Fultz's jump shot looked pretty nice. I hit a nice little turnaround J in that little video, and like I said, I want Markelle Fultz to come back and play for Philly this season. Okay. I want to see it. If it doesn't, I won't be mad. But either way, I want to see how that team works with him out there. And I guess it is kind of tough, too, because they're fighting for a playoff spot, so you don't really want to mess up what they got going on there. Right? You already got Ben Simmons running the point guard position, doing just fine. But I don't know. I guess, I do want to see Fultz back for this season. But if, like I said, if they don't bring him back and just move him in next year, then that makes honestly more sense than bringing him back this year. All right, so, yeah, we talked about that. Talked about how Zaza Pachulia is the dirtiest player in the league. All right, can't stand the guy. Didn't even like him when he was in Atlanta. This isn't like a new thing with Zaza Pachulia either. The dude's been a dirty player since he's been in the league. All right, there was a video on Twitter, just like a compilation of him just dirty plays by him. All right, kicking players and all that. So, I mean, Zaza Pachulia, I don't know. I don't really like him too much as far as the basketball players. Zaza Pachulia, the guy, might be a nice person. But either way, the basketball player, not a big fan. All right, and then for the final part of that last segment, we talked about, more NCAA stuff, right? More basketball. We talked about Sean Miller, the Arizona coach, talking to an agent, being wiretapped by the FBA, talking to an agent saying, give DeAndre $800,000. And that's not the direct quote or anything like that, but it's pretty much the basis of what they were talking about. Right, because I guess DeAndre Ayton was supposed to go to Kansas, and obviously, if you're choosing between Kansas or Arizona, you're going to go Kansas. But if Arizona says, here's like $100,000, come play basketball for us, then I'm going to Arizona, right? Made the little thing. Like I said, if Arizona's offering me $100,000 and Duke's offered me, you come play for Coach K and that'll be as good enough for you. No, I'm going to go play for Arizona and make $100,000. Even if Cal Berkeley offered me $100,000 to go play for them instead, I don't know. Yeah, I'd still do that, all right? Because I'm a good basketball player. I'm a good basketball player. That's one thing about college basketball. If you could ball, then you can ball. It doesn't really matter where you're at, I feel. But that's all we had to say for that segment. All right, for this segment, we're going to be talking about the NBA games from Sunday. So let's get into it. First up, we had the Detroit Pistons facing off with the Charlotte Hornets. And the Pistons, they frustrate me, all right? The Hornets won this one 114-98. For Charlotte, you had Marvin Williams with 8 points, 7 rebounds, shot 3 of 7, 2 of 5 from the three-point line. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist had 6 points in that one. Dwight Howard had 17 points, 12 rebounds, 8 of 10 shooting in that one. Kemba Walker, quiet game here, 17 points, 6 assists, shot 5 of 11, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. Nicholas Batum with 15 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from the three-point line. And you had Frank the Tank Kaminsky with 13 points, 8 rebounds, shot 4 of 9 off the bench, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, all right? Let's talk about Detroit. Blake Griffin, he had 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, shot 10 of 18 from the field, didn't hit a 3 in this one. Reggie Bullock had 14 points, 5 assists, 5 of 14 from the field, 1 of 5 from the three-point line. Stanley Johnson, 9 points, 3 rebounds, shot 3 of 4 from the field, 1 of 1 from the three-point line. Andre Drummond, he had 14 points, 14 rebounds, and you had Ish Smith with 13 points, 8 assists, shot 6 of 11, and 1 of 1 from the three-point line. All right, let's talk about the Pistons for a bit, okay? I understand that their plan now, it's pretty clear, is to wait for Reggie Jackson to get back, and when Reggie Jackson gets back, that's when they're expecting this team to take off. And I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Detroit makes the playoffs this year, okay? I just don't. I don't see it. I mean, you need a whole lot more than Reggie Jackson to make the playoffs, I feel, okay? Unless I'm just completely undervaluing Reggie Jackson. I mean, I think Reggie Jackson is a good point guard, but I feel like you're going to need more than that, all right, in order to get in. And you know what? Like I said, and we're going to be talking about it in the next segment as far as where LeBron could end up or whatever. But, I mean, there's odds on Detroit as far as getting LeBron James and all that for next year. So maybe that's the plan right there. But as far as Detroit goes, I mean, they're 2.5 games back of the Heat right now. And the Heat are a weird team right now too, okay? Because I've talked about it before. I think the Heat are in a bit of trouble because, I mean, they're in basketball purgatory right now, okay? Pretty much they're not really that good and they're not that bad, all right? They're good enough to make the 7th or 8th seed. And that's just because they have a great coach there, okay? And it's going to be interesting to see, like, if they make the playoffs and stuff, like, how they're going to be able to do in the draft and all that, what their plan is as far as free agency. Because, I mean, like I said, you're not going to be getting, a top 10 player or anything like that when you're outside the lottery, all right? So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens with the Heat. But getting back to the Pistons, I mean, Reggie Jackson is not the final piece to that puzzle as far as that team with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond goes. I will tell you that right now. So hopefully the Pistons have something else up their sleeve. If not, I mean, they completely botched this right here. And I got to double check on Blake Griffin's contract. Like, how long is he truly going to stay in Detroit? I'm sure he's got to have some type of opt-out in that contract or something after a couple of years. So we'll see pretty much how it all ends up for Detroit. But like I said, very frustrating to see that they still haven't put it together, right? I mean, I think they are 6-5 since they got Blake Griffin or something like that. I got to double check this their record with them. But either way, they really got to figure something out. And like I said, I'm not even sure if Reggie Jackson is the final piece to that puzzle. All right, let's see. For the next game, we had the New Orleans Pelicans facing off with the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Pelicans won this one 123-121 in overtime. All right, you had Anthony Davis with 27 points, 13 rebounds, 12 of 26 from the field. Rondo had 16 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the field shooting, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. Drew Holiday went off for 36 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, 16 of 31 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line. Etuan Moore dropped in 11 points, and off the bench, you had Nikolai Mirotic with 14 points, 7 rebounds, shot 5 of 15 from the field, 1 of 8 from the three-point line. For the Bucks, you had Giannis Antetokounmpo with 20 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, shot 6 of 18 from the field. Chris Middleton had 25 points, 5 rebounds, shot 8 of 16 from the field. Eric Bledsoe had 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. And then off the bench, you had Jabari Parker with 18 points, 6 rebounds, shot 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. I say just throw Jabari Parker out there into the starting lineup, right? Move John Henson to the bench. Actually, I don't know if you can make that move because the bench looks pretty weak with Parker not in there. All right, so I guess just leave Parker on the bench, but I really want to see a starting 5 of Bledsoe, Middleton. You could have Giannis running the 5. Tony Snell could stay out there, and you have Parker playing the 4. That'd be really fun to watch, all right? And obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo isn't a true 5 or anything like a giant Magic Johnson as far as what he could do, all right? So, I don't know, I kind of like to see that. But as far as the Pelicans go, I think I mentioned it on Friday. I can't remember exactly if I did or not, but I remember Anthony Davis going out and saying that with Boogie Cousins, they'd make a finals run. And I was just thinking, man, that's pretty crazy that he actually believes that. Like, he truly believes in his heart that they could go out and beat the Warriors in the first round. Like, that's just ridiculous. But either way, I mean, I always think about, like, because you always hear NBA players make those kind of comments and all that. Ooh, the Pelicans, I just realized, have moved to the 6th seed. Wow. The Pelicans without Boogie Cousins, let me tell you, Anthony Davis has turned into a whole different player. I think he's feel like he's taking on more of a leadership role with this team now that Boogie's out. Man, that's crazy. The Pelicans are the 6th seed now. They'd be playing the Portland Trailblazers are the 5th seed. I did not realize this all happened over the weekend. I mean, on Friday it was San Antonio in 3rd, Minnesota in 4th, then you had Oklahoma City in 5th. I think Portland in 6th. And then you had Denver in 7th, New Orleans in 8th. We had a bit of a shakeup over the weekend, boys and girls. All right, so as of right now, if the playoffs started today, you have the Pelicans facing off with the Spurs. And you know what? I'm not going to go out and make the statement that the Pelicans could beat the Spurs with the current team they got. But let me put it this way, okay? Anthony Davis is playing out of his mind. If Rondo could figure out how to get to the old playoff Rondo and play that way, I mean, that team's dangerous. You got Drew Holiday, who on any given night can go out and drop 30-plus for you. I mean, Drew Holiday is one of the unsung heroes of that team, okay? The guy's been having a sneaky good season, and no one's really been talking about it. You got Etuan Moore putting in good minutes. You got Nikolai Mirotic, who is off the bench as a solid little six-man there. You know what? The Pelicans, I wouldn't be opposed to them bringing Boogie Cousins back on a 1-year deal, okay, or even a 2-year deal where, 2-year deal or 3-year deal with opt-out after the second year, okay, because the Pelicans might be building something, all right? And you know what? I'm not sure that Rondo is the point guard of the future. I don't know. How old is Rondo? Rondo is still being pretty productive for this team, all right? If Rondo just knows his role with that team, then I think it could work. He's 32 years old right now. I mean, he's probably got 2 more years, I guess. I guess it wouldn't really work with them, but either way, it's really kind of sad to think about how Boogie Cousins tore his Achilles, because I mean, this team, obviously they wouldn't beat the Warriors or the Rockets, okay, but imagine them, the 6th seed, that team with Boogie Cousins facing off with the Spurs. That's a matchup they could win, okay? So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, but I don't know, the Thunder are kind of on a bit of a slide here, right? You know what? I'm sticking to it, all right? I was giving the Thunder props for the last month or so, but I don't really believe in what they got going on there, all right? They're going to get bounced in the first round. Like imagine, they'd have to play with it right now, they'd have to play the Warriors in the first round. There's no way they're getting out of that, okay? So we'll see how it all ends up. But as far as the Pelicans go, I mean, they're playing good ball, all right? 33-26, only 2 games back of that 3 seed. Imagine the Pelicans being the 3 seed in the NBA. That's just crazy to think. The West is a bit diluted, I feel, all right? But either way, like I said, wouldn't be opposed to them bringing back DeMarcus Cousins for a couple more years or whatever, just see how it all ends up, because they do got a squad out here. All right, well, that's it for that game. As for the next game, speaking of the Spurs, they faced off with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and boy, oh boy, did these Spurs win, 110-94. All right, LaMarcus Aldridge, he had 27 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 9 of 20 from the field. Kyle Anderson with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Pau Gasol, 11 points, 7 rebounds. All right, you had Patty Mills with 11 points, and then Dejounte Murray with 13 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 of 12 shooting from in that one. Off the bench, you had, I forgot, Rudy Gay is on this team. He had 14 points, 4 rebounds, shot 2 of 8 from the field. Tony Parker played 14 minutes, didn't take a shot, had 1 assist. And then you had Danny Green with 22 points, 3 rebounds, 6 of 11 shooting, 5 of 9 from the 3-point line. As for those Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James, 33 points, 9 assists, 13 rebounds, 14 of 25 shooting now, and 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. I guess it's not Cedi Osman, it's Cedi Osman, I guess. I'm not sure if that's completely right, but he had 4 points, 1 rebound, shot 1 of 6 in 15 minutes of play. Tristan Thompson had 6 points, 13 rebounds. George Hill has not really played too well since he's went to the Cavs, all right? It hasn't really worked out so far. I think they played, 4 games? Again, it's still early. Don't want to make too many judgments or anything like that, but George Hill just has not had a good game yet. All right, he had 2 points, 2 rebounds, shot 1 of 7, 0 of 2 from the 3-point line in 25 minutes of play. J.R. Smith got hot for a little bit after the trade deadline, can come back to earth a little bit. He had 2 points in that one, 2 rebounds, shot 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 6 from the 3-point line in 21 minutes played. You had Larry Nance with 4 points. He played 15 minutes in this one, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 of 1 shooting in that one. Jeff Green, who has been pretty much the biggest constant on that Cavs bench, right? I feel like Jeff Green has been playing a whole lot better than we give him credit for this season. No one's really talking about him, but he had 14 points, 2 rebounds, shot 6 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. Jordan Clarkson did have a good game, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 7 from the 3-point line. Then you had Rodney Hood, who played nearly 30 minutes in this one, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 2 of 6 from the field, 0 of 1 from the 3-point line. And Kyle Korver just didn't play well in this one either, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 of 7 from the field, 2 of 7 from the 3-point line, all right? And as far as this Cavs team goes, I mean, this was what I was talking about on Friday, okay? I was saying pump the brakes. Let's take it easy a bit on crowning them as the best team in the East or as the team who's going to get out the East because, like, of the simple fact, I mean, they still can't play defense, obviously, from what I'm saying. All right, they're still giving up a lot of points. They gave up 110 to a Spurs team who probably, let's see how much the Spurs are averaging per game this year. They're only averaging 102 points per game. That's good for, I think, 3rd worst in the West, okay? You're giving up that many points to a team like this, or actually I think it's like 4th worst in the West. Either way, it's bottom 5, okay? So you're giving up points to a team that doesn't really score that much. I mean, there's not really much going on for you there, right? And I'm not going to, like I said, I'm trying not to make a judgment about the Cavs or anything like that. Not sure if they're better, not sure if they're any worse, or not sure if they just stayed the same, but we got to pump the brakes as far as crowning the Cavs Eastern Conference champs. All right, we still got a whole season to play, and obviously, like they played good the first couple of games. The last couple of games, I mean, I think they're 1-2 in their last 3 games. So let's pump the brakes and take it easy on them. All right, as for the next game, we had the Philadelphia 76ers facing off with the Washington Wizards, and yet again, the Wizards look good, 109-94 with the win for them. For Washington, you have Markelle Fultz with 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 3 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from the three-point line. Satoransky had 7 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. Otto Porter Jr. has been playing extremely well lately, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 10 of 16 from the field, 3 of 6 from the three-point line. Marcin Gortat, is it Martin Gortat or Marcin Gortat? I think it's Marcin Gortat. He had 13 points, 10 rebounds, shot 6 of 11 in that one. Bradley Beal, 24 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 9 of 14 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. Kelly Oubre Jr. off the bench, he had 19 points, shot 6 of 11 from the field, and 4 of 7 from the three-point line. As for those Philadelphia 76ers, you had Dario Saric with 13 points, 8 rebounds, shot 5 of 17 from the field. Robert Covington, 9 points, 2 rebounds, shot 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from the three-point. I kind of feel like Robert Covington hasn't been having that good of a shooting season so far this year. All right, I'm paying attention to his stats. Really hasn't been looking too good as far as all around. Joel Embiid, he had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 9 of 20 in that one, 2 of 6 from the three-point line. Ben Simmons, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, shot 6 of 12 from the field. And then you had JJ Redick with a poor shooting night here, 6 points, 4 assists, 2 of 10 from the field, 2 of 8 from the three-point line. Once again, the Wizards won this one, 109-94. We'll talk more about Philly in the next segment as far as, I don't know, we'll make that segment about Philly and talk about like the chances of LeBron going there and pretty much what they look like with him, all right? So next segment's going to be a Philadelphia 76ers segment. And as for the final game of the night, we had the Houston Rockets facing off with the Denver Nuggets. Houston won this one 119-114. Trevor Ariza, he had 14 points, 6 rebounds, shot 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Clint Capella with 6 points, 7 rebounds, shot 3 of 6 from the field. Chris Paul, he had 23 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 6 of 14 from the field. James Harden, the front runner for MVP, should win it this year, had 41 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, shot 11 of 20 from the field, 6 of 10 from the three-point line. Then you had the Denver Nuggets. You had Wilson Chandler with 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Nikolai Jokic with 21 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 of 18 from the field. We got to start talking about him a whole lot more. You had Jamal Murray with 19 points, 5 assists, 8 of 13 shooting from the field in that one. Gary Harris, poor shooting night from him, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Shot 2 of 12 from the field, 0 of 5 from the three-point line. Then you have Will Barton with 25 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 10 of 15 shooting from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point line. And again, that was the last game from yesterday. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this segment. Like I said, next up we're going to be talking about Philly, pretty much make it a Philadelphia 76ers segment, sprinkle him some LeBron, the chances of him going there and all that. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA, from the UFC to extreme cage fighting. They got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast. For that last segment, we talked about the NBA games that went on Sunday. All right, talked about those, recapped them, gave the scores and the stats, talked a bit about a couple of teams too. For this segment, we're going to be talking about one of those teams. We're going to be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers, talking about their chances of getting LeBron, and pretty much, I guess, anything else that has to do with the Sixers. I don't think we've spent a segment talking about the Sixers. Well, we talk about the Cavs a lot, talk about the Celtics a bit, talk about the Warriors a little bit, and we talked about the Rockets too. So we got to give some love to the other teams, all right? So, yeah, the Philly, I don't know if it's the city of Philadelphia or whoever controls this or whatever, but they put up three billboards. Let's see, what did the first one say? Let me see. The first one was kind of like, how do you say? It had all those players' numbers. It had Saric's number on there. like pretty much like a starting five. All right, you had Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Dario Saric, Robert Covington, and then you had number 23. All right, you had all the numbers out there pretty much lined up on a basketball court, pretty much like a game plan on a clipboard and stuff like that, or whiteboard, whatever you want to call it. All right, you kind of get the gist of it. Then the second billboard says complete the process, and then the third billboard said hashtag Philly wants LeBron. All right, obviously there's someone in Philly who wants LeBron James to come play for that team, and you know Ben Simmons wants LeBron to come play for that team. I think he's posted a couple of things on Instagram about it as far as that. And I got a question, so NBA players, they can't tamper. I mean, you can't really stop that either, because I mean they're not gonna go telling on each other or anything like that. But is that the case right there? NBA players can't tamper, because obviously, I mean, I know these guys are out here talking to each other, telling them, "Oh, come play for us. You do this or you do that. Come play for this team. You'll play like this or whatever." I think it's got to be happening. So maybe the NBA just chooses not to deal with it as far as players and tampering goes. I mean, you can't even really do that. I think it had to do with what was it? I think in baseball, I think it was like David Ortiz. And he said David Price should come, or Hanley Ramirez or David Price should come play for them. I can't remember exactly who it was, but either way, they tried making it things like, I'm a player, you can tell me I can't talk to other players and stuff like that. But either way, all right, I guess there's not a little rule on tampering. But getting back to it, I mean, what would the Philadelphia 76ers look like with LeBron? I don't really like the fit there. I don't like it. I don't like it really. All right, because let's put it this way, okay? You got Markelle Fultz, who's going to be coming back next year. At least that's what I guess he should be coming back. Then you got Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons is a guy who needs the ball in his hand, okay? Then you have LeBron James, who likes to play with his ball in his hand, all right? You got three players who, I guess, or you could say, are at their best. I'm not sure about Markelle Fultz, too, all right? The whole Markelle Fultz thing, I have no idea what kind of player he's going to be in the NBA. I'm not sure if he's a guy who can play off the ball, or if he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands, all right? But Ben Simmons is a guy who I feel is at his best when he has the ball in his hands, okay? And LeBron James, same with him. He's at his best when he has the ball in his hands, when he's out there facilitating, pretty much running the offense, all right? How are you going to do that when you have three possible guys who play at their best with the ball in their hands? Pretty much, you got like three point guards on that team, pretty much, okay? Obviously, LeBron is a 3. Ben Simmons, I guess, quote-unquote, technically is a 4, and Markelle Fultz is the point guard. But either way, like I said, they both play well with the ball in their hands, and they both pretty much need the ball in their hands, okay? How does that work? I don't know. It's like with the Thunder, okay? Obviously, it's a little bit of a little different situation, but bear with me as I try to connect it, okay? You get the Thunder. You got Russell Westbrook, who needs the ball in his hands. You got Carmelo Anthony, who has been an ISO player his whole life and pretty much refused to give the ball up to anyone, ever. All right, you got Paul George, who really, I don't know, hasn't really been that guy who's commanded the ball. He can play well off the ball, but nonetheless, you need your best players to have the ball. So he's been playing with the ball in his hand most of his career, okay? It hasn't really worked out too great with that team, okay? You got, that's like the joke, okay? You got 3 players but 1 ball. How's it going to work, all right? I'm not sure how it works in Philly. I just don't think even, all right, let's put it this way. Let's say LeBron does go there. Are they a better team than the Celtics? Are they a better team than the Raptors? Are they a better team than the Bucks? I think LeBron moves him up there, but like I said, I'm not even sure if I'd crown him better than the Celtics, okay? Because let's not forget, Boston's got already one of the top teams in the East right now. I think they're currently second in the East, a half game back of Toronto for that 1 seed, all right? And, I mean, they're doing this without a Gordon Hayward, okay? So let's say Gordon Hayward gets back, whatever. He's going to be back next year, right? He's going to be healthy, okay? Do we think that Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, LeBron James are better than that team? All right, because it's not just 3 versus Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward and Al Horford, right? I think Boston's bench is better than Philly's, and I think Boston all around as a team would be better than Philly there. LeBron's going to cover up a lot of the problems there, but either way, I still think I'd take Boston over that team. All right, I think LeBron would be better suited going to a team like Houston or just staying in Cleveland. All right, you go to Houston, you're probably better than the Warriors because we already got people talking about if this team can knock out the Warriors. All right, so I mean, either way it goes. Philly with LeBron, it could work, but I'm not sure it does, all right? And again, we got to wait and see how this all ends up, but I mean, I don't know, Philly's a real exciting team to me, okay? Them and Milwaukee, those are the 2 teams right there that are going to end up taking over in the East eventually, along with Boston, all right? Because Cleveland, I mean, not sure if LeBron's going to go back there. Like, the East could be really good if LeBron stays in Cleveland next season. All right, yeah, let's talk about the East now, okay? So you got Toronto, who, I mean, you got their players in their prime. You got a solid bench there. You got Boston, who's one of the youngest teams in the league, but are already at the top, one of the top teams in the East. You got Cleveland, who, whenever they have, like, if you got LeBron, you always got a chance. You got Washington, who, I mean, I don't know, they're mid-standing type team. Indiana's young, but they're getting better. You got Milwaukee, like I said, eventually ready to take over for the East, and same with Philly, all right? Then you got the Heat and Detroit there. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but either way, I mean, the East is could be the best conference next year if we're being real, okay? Because let's say you got the Raptors, like I said, you got the Celtics, you got the Cavaliers, Wizards, Pacers, and then you got the Bucks and the Sixers, who could be taking the next step next season, right? That's going to be a whole lot better than the West. Let me tell you, because in the West, you got the Rockets and Warriors, who are still going to be really good teams. The Spurs are kind of, looks like this is the year where they're finally starting to go down a bit. Obviously, still a good team in the league, but nonetheless, starting to show signs of, you know what, maybe we can't sustain this level of success forever, okay? So you got that. Then you got the Timberwolves, who are young, but I mean, I don't know. They still can't beat top teams in the league. Portland is just like the Atlanta Hawks of the last few years before Atlanta started tanking this year. All right, makes the playoffs year after year, gets bounced in the first or second round. New Orleans, I think that's a little fun team to watch right there. Oklahoma City's going to be broken up after this season, all right, because I don't think Paul George is going to be back there next year, and I think Melo could opt out. And I don't really see why Oklahoma City would want Melo back. And you got Denver Nuggets, who are that team in the West that could eventually take over. And then you got the Clippers, you got the Jazz, who do have a bright future. All right, Lakers are, I mean, they're banking on them getting a couple solid free agents to make them better. The Grizzlies are probably going to be bad for a couple more years. The Kings, they've been bad since 2006. Dallas has been bad for, I guess, this year. Were they bad last year too? Yeah, they were bad last year. I forgot that's how they got Dennis Smith Jr. And you get the Phoenix Suns, who pretty much don't even know what they're doing. I feel like the Phoenix Suns might be a more dysfunctional franchise than the Sacramento Kings. I don't know. I've been calling the Sacramento Kings the Cleveland Browns of the NBA, but I think that tag belongs to the Phoenix Suns now. So either way, though, like I said, I mean, the East is going to be looking real good next year, okay? Really good. The only reason why the West is so highly regarded is just because you got the Warriors and Rockets out there, all right? If you think about it, I mean, I guarantee from top to bottom, the East is a whole lot better top to bottom than the West, all right? But, well, we have to just wait and see how it all plays out. But as far as getting back to Philly, I mean, I'd rather see them go out there with Fultz, Simmons, and Embiid next year, right? Keep it young, okay, and keep building. All right, because LeBron's what? How old is LeBron? Let me find out real quick. He's got to be like at least 30-something, like 33 at least. If he's younger than 33, then I might be changing my mind. All right, so LeBron is, yeah, he's 33. LeBron, in reality, like, just think about how he's been playing, all right, since he's been out there since 2003. He's probably got 5 more solid years in him, 7 more years as a total for an NBA career, all right? Because I know he's trying to play with his with his oldest son, I think it is, or whatever. And I think, what is he? He's not in high school yet, I don't think. But either way, he's trying to play with him. I think by the time he's 39 or 40, that could become a reality. So I know LeBron's trying to reach for that. But I don't know. I wouldn't, like, bringing in LeBron, obviously, you bring in LeBron, your team's gonna get a whole lot better, okay? And I'm trying to make it a little bit clear with what I'm trying to say. So let's break it down piece by piece, okay? So you got LeBron, he's 33 years old, okay? You got Ben Simmons, you got Joel Embiid, you got Markelle Fultz, okay? All very young players, obviously. All right, you bring in a 33-year-old LeBron, obviously that's gonna elevate your team. But I feel like it's just Philly's better off. And again, I might just be crazy as far as talking, but I feel that Philly is just better off rolling with what they got now and just continuing to build off of that, okay? You got top 5 center in the league when he's healthy, and Joel Embiid. I don't even think I have to say if he's healthy anymore. Dude's been healthy all year. You got possible rookie of the year in Ben Simmons, and you don't really know what you have with Markelle Fultz yet, but, I mean, you're hoping it's good. And I think that I'd rather go with the youth and build up from there than, I don't know, I might be crazy saying not bring on LeBron James. I just don't like the fit there. I think that's the biggest problem. I don't like the fit. Like I said, Ben Simmons is a better player when he's got the ball in his hands. All right, not sure what kind of player Markelle Fultz is off the ball. And LeBron James, like I said, is a better player with the ball in his hands. So, I mean, how's it going to work where Ben Simmons can't shoot the ball? All right, LeBron's not going to be able to kick it out to him like he does to a Kevin Love or anything like that. So that's just what I think of it, okay? I mean, as far as it all goes, I'm sure if Philly were to get LeBron, that's a top 2 team in the East with Boston right there. I think they'd be better than Toronto. Yeah, I'd say they'd be better than Toronto. With them and Boston would be competing, and that'd be fun too. I think I'm not sure really if Philly and Boston really have much of a rivalry, but I feel like LeBron going there since they're playing the same division, that kind of make it one, I guess, kind of, sort of. But either way, I mean, LeBron goes there. That's the top 2 team in the East. But I don't know. I just don't like it. There's something about it that I don't like. But either way, that's all I got to say about that. That's going to wrap it up for this segment. Next up, we're going to be talking about pretty much whatever comes to mind, anything else going on in the world of basketball. And we're going to be making my picks for tonight's NBA games, which is on Monday. All right, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Check out the show built around the women of MMA. From the UFC to the extreme cage fighting, we got the fights covered.
Listen.
It's the Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast. The latest news of upcoming fights, discussions of previous matches. Join us as we talk to and about the biggest names in women's mixed martial arts, past, present, and future. When it's the women's fight game, you know where to listen to. The Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast. All right, so this is how I want to start this segment. Let me recap the show so far. All right, so far we pretty much did the weekend recap, talked about Zaza Pachulia, talked about Markelle Fultz, that video of his jumper. All right, and we talked about Sean Miller, the coach of Arizona. Okay, second segment, what do? We recapped Sunday's NBA games. Third segment, we talked a bit about Philly, talked about LeBron fitting in there, and pretty much talked about how the East is going to be better than the West next year. Okay, for this segment, we're going to be talking about, let's see, what are we talking about? We're going to talk about Derrick Rose, all right? The curious case of Derrick Rose, okay? There's been talk about pretty much, like, is his career done, and is he a Hall of Famer? Possibly. Not first ballot or anything like that, but just can he make it into the Hall of Fame? All right, let me start off with this, all right? Because when Derrick Rose, and when he was back in 2010 or 2011, whenever it was, when he was winning MVP and all that, dude was one of the best players in the league, okay? There was talk about him becoming the best player, one of the best point guards of all time. And you know what? I could see it. That's true. He was on that pace, all right? Derrick Rose was like no other point guard, all right? But Derrick Rose's biggest problem was that he's just too athletic for his own good, okay? That's what it was, all right? Because I don't want to go out and say that there was no one like Derrick Rose, but what Derrick Rose was doing was pretty phenomenal, okay? And it just stinks to see how his career has played out since then, all right? Because now you got him where he's not even on a team. I mean, I thought for sure he was going to go to the Timberwolves and play for them, but they don't even want him, all right? Derrick Rose, honestly, I think, and I hope I'm wrong, I don't know. I mean, just as someone who doesn't want to see someone pretty much fail at their goal or whatever, I mean, he did make the NBA and stuff like that, but I mean, that's just such a sad career, all right? Just a real sad career. On his way to being one of the best to ever do it at his position, and too athletic for his own body. So he jumps a certain way, and his knee gets shredded, dude. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Poor guy there. But I mean, like, just getting back to it now. I mean, he's not. I mean, there has to. I don't know. I'm just doing wishful thinking here. Okay, I'm thinking. Yeah, Derrick Rose isn't going to be playing this year at all. But, I mean, there's got to be a team next that at least kicks the tires on him, pretty much sees what he's got left, right? Maybe a team that really, like, that's not going to win too many games and pretty much needs to, bring in a guy like Derrick Rose to sell tickets still, all right? And, man, I'm just thinking about it as I'm talking about it, and this is just crazy, all right? Derrick Rose, like I said, could have been one of the best, but, I mean, the ultimate what if, I guess, all right? Because we already know what he was going to become, and it's just injuries killed him, right? Kind of like a Penny Hardaway type story where, I mean, Penny Hardaway was, him and Shaq on the Magic were incredible. I mean, Shaq leaves the Magic, but Penny Hardaway's still a good player, but just injuries killed him, all right? Obviously, figuratively, not, like, literally speaking, but, I mean, it's like, that's where Derrick Rose ends up right there. He's a Penny Hardaway, okay? And, I mean, Derrick Rose's value is really down, too. And I feel like NBA analysts and writers, stuff like that, I feel like sometimes they don't even like Derrick Rose, right? Because they will bring out his stats and see, like, see, Derrick Rose isn't good, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, it's just sad to see how his career played. All right, had two stints where he pretty much needed to take time away, figure out if he still wanted to play the game, and it's just, I don't know, man, just a sad story for Derrick Rose there. All right. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Let's see, anything else going on in the world of basketball? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, pretty much now we're gonna start stepping into gear, figuring out who's real, who's a contender, who's a pretender, and all that. We still gotta take time to see what's going on with the Cavs. All right. As far as the Thunder go, I mean, they're very inconsistent, very unpredictable, and you just don't know what you're going to get out of them. Sometimes they'll go out and play like one of the best teams in the league. Sometimes they'll go out and play like they have no business making the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see. Right now they're the 7th seed, and they got to move up, okay? Because if you finish that 7th or 8th seed spot, there's no way you're making it out the first round, all right? And I'm sure somehow, like going back to Anthony Davis, as far as him saying that if Boogie Cousins was still there, he thought they would be making a finals run. I'm sure you got Carmelo, Russell Westbrook, Paul George thinking, yeah, we could beat the Warriors, but I mean, we all know it's not true. That's just crazy too. Like just thinking about confidence, it's just crazy how you can think so much, like believe something just with confidence. I mean, there's no way in the world the Thunder could beat the Warriors, let alone probably get more than 3 games in a series against them. All right, but I mean, like I said, it's just confidence. You got confidence, you believe you could do anything until you show up to Oakland and lose. But anyway, I guess that's all I want to talk about for that. Now let's go out and pick some games going on tonight. Let's see how many games do we got going on today. Let me pull it up real quick. I think we got quite a bit going on. Let's see. We got the Lakers facing off with the Hawks. You got the Grizzlies facing off with the Celtics. Bulls playing the Nets. Warriors playing the Knicks. Pistons playing the Raptors. Suns playing the Pelicans. Magic playing the Thunder. Pacers beating the Mavericks. Houston facing off with the Jazz. And then the Timberwolves facing off with the Kings. A lot of good games going on today. Right? And I don't know about a lot of good games, but there's a lot of NBA games, okay? So let's get into it. Let's see. First up, we got the Lakers facing off with the Atlanta Hawks. And these games, as they go on, as the season progresses, they're going to get a whole lot easier to pick, all right? Because look, you get the Lakers, they're 25-34, all right, and the Hawks are 18-42 18-42 this season, okay? The Lakers aren't actively trying to tank or anything like that. They're trying to develop the young core they got now and all that. They're not trying to tank for a draft position or anything like that because I don't even think they get to keep their first-round pick this year, all right? The Hawks, on the other end, are trying to tank. So that makes it easier, okay? You go with the Lakers. Obviously, this is probably, if I made lock picks right now, this is my lock pick right here, the Lakers over the Hawks, all right? So I got the Lakers beating the Hawks today. Then we got the Grizzlies facing off with the Celtics. Grizzlies, like I said, are trying to tank. Boston's at home, favored by 12. I mean, they're going to cover. I got the Celtics in this one easily. No reason to pick the Grizzlies in this one. All right, 5-22 on the road. Just like I said, just no reason to pick them. Then we got a tough one. All right, we got the Chicago Bulls facing off with the Brooklyn Nets. Both teams are trying. I don't know. You know what? The Nets, I don't think are trying to tank. I think they're just bad. All right, because the Nets don't even have their own first-round pick this year, all right? So this makes it easier, all right? I was thinking, you know what, both teams are trying to tank, but I forget that the Nets are just bad. Bulls are trying to tank. Nets are favored by 5. I'm going with the Nets. They're 11-21 at home. Bulls are 7-22 on the road. I'm going with the Nets. Then we got the Warriors facing off with the Knicks. I might get every pick right today. I think I might. I'm feeling it. All right, we got the Warriors facing off with the Knicks in New York. Steph Curry's going to drop at least 30. Or is it Kevin Durant? One of them is dropping 30 at least, all right? All of these great players play well in Madison Square Garden. I'm going to go with the Warriors. Obviously, they're favored by 11.5, but who do I think is going to go for the 30-burger game right here? All right, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant, all right? Kevin Durant, that's my pick for the player that's going over 30 points today, all right? So I got the Warriors and Kevin Durant scoring 30+. Then we got the Pistons facing off with the Toronto Raptors. Toronto's at home, 24-5 at home. Pistons are a terrible road team, 9-18 on the road. Toronto's favored by 10 in this one. I'm going with Toronto, all right? Like I said, the Pistons really aren't going to be much till they get Reggie Jackson back, and I don't even think they're going to be that much better when they get Reggie Jackson back, all right? So I'm going to go with the Raptors in that one. Then we got the Suns facing off with the Pelicans. Another easy game here, all right? Suns are trying to tank. Pelicans are trying to move up in the West, favored by 7.5. I got the Pelicans, all right? Anthony Davis is playing like a crazy person out there, playing extremely well, all right? Believes that if Boogie Cousins was out there, they'd make a finals run. I don't believe that one bit, but nonetheless, confidence is a crazy thing out there, all right? So I got the Pelicans winning this one. Then we got the Magic facing the Thunder. Again, teams trying to tank. It's ridiculous, man. There's a lot of teams trying to tank, and it's going to be real fun to watch as the season goes on because these teams are trying, genuinely trying to lose games to get a better draft position, right? But either way, getting back to the game, we got the Magic facing off with the Thunder. Magic are 7-24 on the road. Thunder are 20-10 at home. OKC is favored by 10. Again, easy pick. I'm going with OKC in this one. If they lose, man, they're going to make me look so bad. But I got the Thunder winning this one. Russell Westbrook might finish the season averaging a triple-double again. I just realized that he's averaging 25 points, 10 assists, and he's averaging 9.5 rebounds. All right? He could very well do it again. And I don't understand why he wouldn't win MVP this year than he did last year. All right? Because like I say, he won MVP because he averaged a triple-double last year. I guess it's because he got Melo and Paul George out there. But either way, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking to talk. But then we got the Pacers facing off with the Dallas Mavericks. What do we got here? We got a tanking team versus a team who's trying to move up in the East. All right. Pacers are currently 13-14 on the road. Mavericks are 11-19 at home. Mavericks, like I said, are trying to tank. Indiana's favored in this one, as they should be. So I'm going with the Pacers in this one. All right. They're probably going to win this one big. Then we got the Rockets facing off with the Utah Jazz. All right. Utah has been a really good team at home. They've been playing real good basketball. This might be the tough pick right here, too. You got the Rockets, who are 22-7 on the road. Utah's 19-10 at home. I want to go Utah. I really, really do. But I just feel like I'd be crazy to go against Houston. I'm going to go with the... And I'm really trying to get all these picks right, too, because I think this is the game right here. All right? This is going to be the game that makes it or breaks it for me getting everything right. I'm going to go with the... Oh, this was tough. I'm gonna go with Utah. I'm just gonna do it. Houston's got to lose eventually, so I'm going with Utah. All right, there it is. Then we got the Timberwolves facing off with the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. Kings are trying to tank 18-4. Dude, the Kings have a worse home record than they do a road record. That's terrible. So you know what? I'm going with the Timberwolves, even though the Timberwolves road record is terrible too. Either way, Timberwolves are favored by 5.5, so I got them winning this one. All right, so those are my picks. Let me recap those picks just before we get done. I got the Lakers beating the Hawks, the Celtics beating the Grizzlies, the Nets beating the Bulls, the Warriors beating the Knicks, Raptors beating the Pistons, Pelicans beating the Suns, Thunder beating the Magic, Pacers beating the Mavericks, Jazz beating the Rockets, Timberwolves beating the Kings. My only upset pick tonight is the Jazz over the Rockets. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for today. Today, what we talk about? We talked about Sean Miller, the head coach at Arizona State. We talked about the little fiasco he's in. All right, we talked about Markelle Fultz. Talked about Zaza Pachulia. Recapped Sunday's NBA games. What else we do? We talked about LeBron going to the Sixers. That's a possibility. Talked about what kind of team they'd be if he'd fit there. And for this segment, as we always do, pretty much talked about whatever else going on in my mind or going on in basketball. Talked about Derrick Rose, how sad his career has turned out, and we made my picks for tonight's NBA game. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks for listening to the GSMC Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Jesse Tapia. Let's see, we'll be back on Wednesday, so stay tuned till then, and we'll talk to you later.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.